Welcome everybody to the U.S. National Target Championship. Behind me here you can see the full field. Yes, it's quite the field. And I'm going to turn around and you're going to see the parking lot where you would park your car. So I'm going to give you a walkthrough of how this tournament is laid out so that you can get an idea on the size and scope of nationals. So we're going to start off by walking through the vendors area because, well, you pretty much have to go through the vendors area in order to get to the field. Unless you go down one of the other paths, then you're just either walking through an empty field of, just grass or on a nice paved path with nothing around you. So we might as well check out the vendors first. There's the first, second, and third place stands. And from there, we're going to head towards the center of this whole setup here. So this year there was a fair amount of vendors. As you can see, Shrewd was here. Hoyt was also here by the flags. American Whitetail. You could also design your own sweatshirt, t-shirt, and get it made. That had the official logo for the event. And of course, and most importantly, in my humble opinion, Lancaster, because they always have what you need on hand, for the most part, within reason. They really pack that trailer full of stuff, and then, you can buy it and use it, especially when you need something last minute. Next up was Archers Association of America, and then Emmanuel College. We had a PSC there as well, and then there were some other companies. So there was a good variety. You had a chance to try out some different equipment and stuff. So just looking around here, trying to give you the the scope and layout of this event, because it did take up quite a large amount of space. Also, Boar's Head and Chick-fil-A were there, and you could order sandwiches, and they were getting fresh sandwiches delivered, so they were like running orders back and forth. Not exactly sure how they made that work, but they were making it work, so that was cool. So here is the practice range, all the way from blank bale, all the way through 70, through the compound targets. We got some porta potties right here too. And we're just going to take a walk down the practice range. They did set up a lot of targets for the practice range, which was really good, because sometimes in years past they've had a shortage of target, and it's really made it, tough. Of course, it was still full at particular points in time, but that's just going to happen. There's a lot of shooters. So as you saw there, we checked out the equipment inspection, and here is the youths shooting. Now we're going to go to the other side. So we're going to the left-hand side, and we're just going to go through all the adult divisions. So right here we have all compound, and then we're going to end up walking through all of compound to get to the next section. And just want to show you, how crazy this goes. Look at that line of targets all the way out there. Pretty impressive. It was definitely a sight to see. If you notice on the left-hand side, you could see all the dirt there. There was one downside to how they had this set up, is that where everybody needed to walk was where the fields went down, and a lot of water and stuff collected, so it was getting very muddy at times. Luckily it didn't rain, because that would have been a bit of a mess. Here we have the paras for compound, and DOS stand, archer's check-in, equipment inspection. They also had target assignments on bales. So if you're curious on where you would find your target assignment, besides online, they actually have printed copies on target bales. So we're going to keep heading down. As you can see, we're walking sideways because of how quick the fields go down, to try to wick as much water away as possible, because these are not year-round archery fields. These are actually soccer fields. So, gotta do what you have to do. Next up is the Masters recurve divisions. The wind here was definitely very special at times. I was told at one point we were up to 20-mile-an-hour sustained winds with 40-mile-an-hour gusts. Also, as a note, there was a limited bathrooms on this side of the field as well. You had to travel a great distance to use the restrooms. Walking through the recurve section right now. At this time of day, it was the women's division shooting, so that's why you haven't seen any male recurve shooters, because we ended up shooting in the afternoon on the day I was filming this. Alright, and you see that field off in the distance? That was actually for clout round. I didn't get video of it actually going on. They pretty much immediately cleaned it up once it was finished. Okay, so there you have it. Hope everybody enjoyed this walkthrough of Nationals, and we finally made it down to target number 1. So quite an event, a ton of archers, over 1,000. I don't know what the final numbers come to, but I want to say we're probably somewhere around 1,200, maybe a little bit more. So hopefully this gave you great insight. If you're looking to go to Nationals, even if it's not held at this venue in the future, at least this will give you a great idea on what to expect at another tournament, because Nationals is going to be this size or maybe even bigger in the future. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, happy shooting.